The Capitol is now alive again as the second session of the state legislature begins.
In Augusta today, watching the start of it all, is State House reporter Christian Harsa. Christian, how was day one?
Hi, Chris and Bailey. Yes, day one here at the State House for this session was largely what you'd expect for lawmakers. There was a lot of discussion about bills and proposals from last session coming into this one, and yes, some looking ahead at what this session may hold. Now, it was when the Senate and House of Representatives came out of session today that things started to get a little bit interesting. Now, both parties, the Democrats and the Republicans, held press conferences to set the tone on what the session will look like for them. However, but rather than coordinate with one another, both Democrats and Republicans held them at the same time. This could be a sign of further partisan disagreements this session and an early indication that the two will struggle to agree on things across the aisle. The two parties also focus on different topics, namely affordability and fraud investigations. On affordability, the Democrats made it their sole focus, while Republicans focused largely on fraud, but prefaced that affordability comes from tax relief.
There's 5 states that aren't allowing to take off the taxes on tips and the overtime, and Maine needs to do that. They need to get on board with the federal government, the IRS, and get up to those tax standards because Mainers deserve that tax relief as well.
People are concerned about whether or not they're going to be able to make ends meet at the end of every month. And that's the issue that we have to focus on. I think it should be an issue that everyone in this building is focused on, because that's what Maine people want us to be working on this legislative session.
Now, the discussion there was really about affordability leading from the Democrats, but for the Republicans, they were mostly talking about fraud investigations, namely the one currently ongoing into community services, Gateway Community Services. Now, we're going to have more on what Republicans were saying about that investigation and the response from Democrats later at 5. Chris and Bailey.
Christian Harsa live at the State House tonight. Thanks so much.